I like the changes that I've made, but at the moment I really do want to make sure that I don't undo these changes by accident. There's still a lot that can go wrong. In particular, what I'm interested in now is to maybe take a story like this one, and instead of just using it as training data, I would like to use it as more of a unit test. So what I've done is I've got this file over here called conversation tests. It's in this tests folder over here. And what I can do is I can make a story appear in here and then treat that as a unit test of sorts. So let's say I've got my happy test path over here. And one thing that I would expect is that if I would greet by saying hello, then I then get the utter greet response back. If I were to use this as a test, then there's two things that will be tested. For starters, if I were to type hello here, do I actually get the greet intent detected? And the next thing that we're going to test is, given that we have this greet intent detected, do we actually give this utter greet response over here? You'll probably notice the syntax that we have over here is really similar to the syntax that we have in our stories.md file. The main thing that's different is that you add a little bit of text right here to indicate that that's the text that's currently being spoken. Now, if you want to run this as a unit test, what you can do is you can type rasa test and then add this fail on predictions errors flag. With this fail on prediction errors flag set, we're sure that this entire process gives the appropriate error code if there's an error happening, let's say a misclassification. That way, if I were ever to add this to, say, GitHub Actions, then I can automatically check if my test cases run appropriately. For now, though, let's just check what happens when we run this. And what's currently happening is Rasa is starting up. It will then look for all the files in the tests folder, and it will treat all of the MD files that are in there as tests. And this will happen automatically. And this ran just fine. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to basically copy more into this test just to see what will happen. So let's say for help here it says, can I get help please? Something maybe here like, could you give me a hint? Okay. Let's just now run this example over here. And now it seems like there's an error happening. Apparently, in this model, if I were to ask, can I get help please, then this is currently being predicted as a hint instead of a help intent. So I hope it's clear why it's useful to have some of these tests around. What I like to do is I would like to, whenever I write one of these tests, I like to not necessarily peek too much into my NLU.md data, because this is an opportunity for me to check if the model is maybe generalizing or if it's failing. And in this particular case, I would argue, hey, we've got ourselves a little bug here. And the bug seems very counterintuitive, but it can probably be explained by just having a look at our example data. Now the utterance where the error is happening is, can I get help please? And you might be surprised by that, because the word help doesn't appear here at all. But I think I see the issue. It's the fact that the word please over here, that is only being used inside of this intent. I'm not using the word please anywhere over here. So the model that's being used here, under the hood, is probably overfitting on this particular word. So that means that in order to fix this, one thing I probably should do is just make sure that both of these intents have examples with and without the word please. So I've made two pretty small changes to my training data now. I have added the word please over here, such that the help intent also has please in there somewhere. And I figured adding an extra example over here, where give me a hint in the commanding tense is being used. I just ran rasa train, and if I now run my test again, then you will see that there's no big errors happening and that we've addressed this. There we go. No errors. Now, our tests over here, they pass, so that's good. But it's not the main point. The main point isn't so much that our tests are passing, but that we are able to come up with tests that inspire us to make an improvement. It's pretty important that the examples that you have over here don't get used in your training data over here. This one particular example demonstrates why it's useful to keep the training set and your validation test set separate. It's really not just that this test is passing, it's also that I saw the failure scenario and therefore also understand the system that's under the hood a bit better. But let's continue and add some more tests here in the next video.